chosen one. You did not click this by accident. This is divine appointment, perfect timing, and a warning wrapped in mercy. In the unseen, a window has opened, and heaven is watching how you respond. Anointed one. You are standing at the edge of a supernatural financial breakthrough, a divine wealth transfer that does not arrive with noise, but with a sign that makes your spirit wake up. When the time is fulfilled, doors swing open, and what was delayed becomes sudden. Chosen one, do not scroll. Do not doubt. Stay present. Because what you're about to hear will reveal why your name is being called right now. Chosen one, that transfer you saw isn't just a number sitting in a system. It's a signal. It's a spiritual alarm clock. It's the kind of moment that makes your thumb freeze because something deeper than logic just recognized it. When heaven is involved, it doesn't always announce itself with thunder. Sometimes it arrives as a notification, a strange opening, a door that shouldn't be open, a window that wasn't there yesterday. Divine timing has a way of finding you in the exact second you were about to believe nothing changes. Most people would flinch right here. They get uncomfortable. They try to rationalize it away because calling it God would require a response, not just a reaction. They scroll, they laugh it off, they label it coincidence, so they don't have to face the possibility that the unseen realm is watching. But you are not most people, chosen one. You are the one who has been kept, the one who has survived what should have silenced you. The one who has held it together with tears in your throat and prayers you couldn't even finish. So when something unusual pulls toward you, like it recognizes your name, don't treat it like a glitch. Treat it like alignment. I'm not saying you worship money. I'm saying you understand what signs do. A sign doesn't exist to impress you. A sign exists to position you, and there are moments, rare moments, when God allows something physical to interrupt your routine because your spirit has been trying to get your attention for months, and your mind has been too exhausted to hear it. And let me say this with sacred urgency, anointed one, the fact that you stayed matters. The fact that you didn't scroll matters. Heaven watches what you honor. The enemy watches what you ignore. Attention is a spiritual currency. What you give your focus to grows. And right now, what is happening is bigger than a story explaining a transfer. This is a moment that is testing whether you will stay present long enough for the message to reach you before distraction steals it. Because in your name isn't just a phrase. In the spirit, names carry identity, assignment, and authority. When something is released in your name, it's not only touching an account, it's touching a calling. It's saying, "We see you. We recognize you. We have located you." And that is why it feels so intense. It's not only about what arrived, it's about what it represents. It's about the fact that your life has been marked for movement. Chosen one, I need you to stop thinking your reaction is weakness. That sudden breath, catch that strange heaviness in your chest, that feeling like something is about to shift. Those are not random emotions. That's recognition. That's your spirit responding to a signal your mind is still trying to explain. Some of you have been in survival mode so long that peace feels unfamiliar. Blessing feels suspicious. Open doors feel temporary. But tonight, heaven is breaking that pattern. Not with noise, with precision. Let me bring this down to real life because I've learned something in my own journey. God often answers right when your hope is worn thin, not because you're being punished, but because you're being purified. There were seasons I kept showing up while my heart was tired. I smiled for people and then went quiet when the room was empty. I handled responsibilities that nobody saw, carried burdens that nobody thanked me for. And I remember those moments where I whispered, "If you're real, I need a sign." And what shook me wasn't that help came. It was that help came in a way that felt like heaven knew the exact weight I was carrying. That's why I'm telling you, chosen one, this isn't just lucky money. This is not charity. This is not pity. This is correction. This is divine justice, touching what has been imbalanced in your life. There are people who have taken from you emotionally, financially, spiritually, people who benefited from your kindness and never returned honor. There are seasons where you gave more than you received, poured more than you were poured into, stayed strong for everyone else while nobody checked on you. Heaven saw that. Heaven recorded that, and heaven does not forget. So don't miss the message because you're staring at the wrapper. The transfer is the envelope, but inside it is a word your spirit has been starving for. You are not forgotten. You are not stuck. Your story is not over. That's why it found you at this exact moment. Not last week, not 10 years ago. Now, because now is when you were finally ready to recognize it without running. Chosen one, stay grounded. Breathe. Let your heart slow down enough to hear what your spirit has been trying to say. This is my turning point, because a real shift doesn't always start with a trumpet. Sometimes it starts with a pause that breaks the loop, a pause that stops you from repeating the same doubt, a pause that forces you to look at your life and realize something is changing, and I'm not going back to the old way of thinking. And here's the sacred truth: your destiny was already moving before the money showed up. The money is simply what made you notice. It's what made you stop doubting. It's what made you pay attention long enough for the revelation to land. You are not crazy for feeling what you feel. You are not imagining the shift. This is activation. This is alignment. This is heaven putting a marker in your timeline and saying, from here, it will not be the same. So chosen one, don't rush. Don't treat this like content you consume and forget. Receive it like a moment you'll remember. Because what is on your life is not small, and what is being released toward you is not random. Your abundance is in motion, your path is lighting up, and what has been delayed is now being gathered into one wave of goodness headed straight for your door. Chosen one here is the question that keeps echoing in the unseen. Why? You. Out of all the names that exist, out of all the stories that could have been touched, why did this moment land in your hands? And I need you to understand, this is not a compliment to your ego. This is a confirmation of your assignment. Heaven doesn't select randomly. Divine timing does not accidentally collide with your life. When something finds you this precisely, it means you have been located and something has been released to meet you at the exact edge of your breaking point. Because you didn't just reach a tired season, chosen one. You reached a threshold. You reached that place where most people quit quietly. They don't announce it. They just stop believing. They stop expecting. They keep living, but they don't hope anymore. And the reason this feels urgent is because the unseen realm knows you were seconds away from shrinking your expectations down to something safe, something reasonable, something that doesn't require faith. But God did not build you to live on crumbs when you were called to walk in overflow. Now listen carefully, anointed one. The energy behind this is not pressure, it's precision. It's a narrow window because it's a targeted moment. The enemy loves to steal moments. He can't always steal your destiny, but he can distract you long enough to miss the doorway. That's why you felt the pull. That's why you felt the stay. Because revelation requires presence. And presence is what most people don't have anymore. They scroll through their own life without realizing they are skipping the very seconds that would have changed everything. And I know what it's like to live in that tension where you're strong on the outside, but inside you're thinking, how much longer can I keep doing this? I've been there. I've had seasons where I was smiling at people showing up, handling what needed to be handled, but then at night it got quiet and the truth came out. The truth that you can't say out loud because you don't want to be a burden. The truth that you're tired of being the one who always holds it together. The truth that you've been faithful, but it feels like life keeps moving the finish line. Chosen. 1. The one who sent this didn't see what everyone else saw. They didn't just see your image. They didn't just see your status. They saw your endurance. They saw the invisible battles, the sacrifices nobody thanked you for, the way you kept going without applause. That's why this is different. Because some blessings come because you asked. But other blessings come because heaven saw you were about to collapse in silence and decided to answer before you broke. And let me say something that will make this even clearer. Sometimes God uses a person you don't know to confirm a truth you've been refusing to believe about yourself. Not because you need humans to validate you, but because you've been conditioned by disappointment to doubt your own worth. You've been through enough setbacks that part of you expects the worst, even when goodness arrives. So heaven sends a sign strong enough to interrupt that pattern, strong enough to make your scrolling thumb freeze mid-air. Now don't misunderstand me. The miracle is not the money. The miracle is that your timeline is shifting. The miracle is that you are being repositioned into a season where doors don't crack open slowly, they swing wide. The money is the announcement. It is the trumpet. It is the pay attention moment. And if you only stare at the number, you miss the meaning. The meaning is your old chapter and your new chapter are touching right now. Chosen one. There are people who have watched you from a distance, not in a creepy way, but with quiet respect. They saw you fight when nobody knew you were fighting. They saw you keep your integrity when you could have taken shortcuts. They saw you bend but not snap. And something in them said, enough. I can't stay silent. That's how divine justice moves. It awakens people to act when the timing is right. And when the timing is right, what once took years can begin to happen in months. Let this land. You are not being rescued from who you are. You are being revealed. This is not heaven saying you're weak. This is heaven saying you've carried enough. This is not pity. This is alignment. This is the Father saying, I have seen your nights. I have counted your tears. I have recorded your sacrifices. And I am not late. Chosen one. There's a sacred principle at work that doesn't need religious language to be true. When you say yes to your awakening, when you stay present instead of running, you become able to receive what you've been praying for. That's why I keep saying stay. Because the full blessing isn't activated by curiosity, it's activated by surrender. By letting your heart be open without fear. By letting yourself believe again without feeling foolish. By letting the weight of disappointment fall off your shoulders for the first time in a long time. So I want you to do something right now. Anointed one, ground yourself. Take a breath. Feel where you are. And whisper this. I am not missing my moment. Because that is what this is. A moment. A doorway, a turning point, and you didn't arrive here by accident. You were led, you were guided, you were positioned, and what is moving toward you is not random, it is assigned. Chosen one. I need you to hear this with a clear mind and a steady spirit. The reason this feels so intense is because something in the unseen has been set in motion and your body is reacting before your logic can catch up. That racing heart you feel sometimes, that sudden stillness that comes over you, that strange mix of excitement and fear, that isn't weakness, that's sensitivity, that's discernment. That's the part of you that can sense when a spiritual door is opening, because anointed transitions rarely feel normal. When your life is about to shift, it often feels unusual first. It feels like the air changes. It feels like the timing is too perfect. It feels like you're being watched, not by people, but by purpose and chosen one. This is why the message keeps pressing you to stay present. The blessing isn't just arriving to help you pay something off. It's arriving to reposition your identity. It's calling you out of survival mode and into alignment with abundance. Most people think abundance is just money. But true abundance is permission to breathe again. It's the ability to make decisions without panic. It's sleeping without calculating emergencies. It's walking through your day without that tight feeling in your chest, like everything could fall apart at any moment. And I'm telling you, chosen one, the reason heaven is touching your finances is because your finances have been one of the main places the enemy has used to keep you in fear. I've lived that. I know what it's like to look at life and think, if one more unexpected thing happens, I don't know what I'll do. I know what it's like to be strong for everyone else while quietly wondering who will be strong for you. I know the feeling of stretching a little further than you should, hoping something shifts soon. And the hardest part isn't the lack, it's the mental noise that comes with it. The constant calculating, the constant bracing, the constant what if. That's why when provision shows up, it's not only relief, it's warfare against fear. Chosen one. The amount being unusual matters because unusual is what interrupts disbelief. Heaven knows what you would ignore. Heaven knows what you would brush off. Heaven knows what you would downplay. So sometimes the sign has to be loud enough to break the trance, loud enough to stop the pattern, loud enough to make you face the truth you have been living under a ceiling that was never your portion. And here's another truth people don't like to admit: you've been tired, but you haven't been finished. Shaken, but not broken. Pressed, but still standing. That's why the timing landed now. Not when you were comfortable. Not when you had everything figured out. It landed when you were at that point where you could have chosen numbness, where you could have chosen to stop caring, where you could have decided, this is just my life. But instead, chosen one, you kept bending without snapping. You kept showing up. You kept trying again. And heaven honors endurance. So let me make this plain. This is not a random moment of generosity. This is divine timing meeting divine resilience. This is God responding to what you endured in private. The tears you wiped away and still went to work. The nights you lay awake replaying every decision. The mornings you woke up tired and did it anyway. People didn't see that, but heaven did. And chosen one, when heaven decides to answer it, often answers in layers. First comes the sign, then comes the understanding, then comes the acceleration. That's why you must not rush this, because the revelation is part of the transfer. The wisdom is part of the blessing. It's not just, here's something. It's here's why. It's here's what you do next. It's here's how you carry yourself now. Because you cannot step into a new season with an old mindset. You cannot carry abundance while still thinking like scarcity. You cannot receive a breakthrough while still expecting disappointment. That's why your focus matters. That's why stillness matters. The unseen is not only releasing provision, it's rewiring your expectations. And if you're wondering what this looks like in real life, it's simple. It looks like doors opening without you begging. It looks like the right people finding you. It looks like ideas coming to you clearly instead of in confusion. It looks like opportunities that match who you really are, opportunities that don't require you to shrink to compromise to perform for approval. It looks like your gifts finally being paid what they're worth. It looks like promotion that doesn't make sense to people who didn't witness what you survived. Chosen one. There is a scripture that says, suddenly, and I'm using that word carefully. Suddenly doesn't mean magic. Suddenly means the harvest arrives after a long season of hidden rooting. Suddenly means the door opens after years of unseen preparation. Suddenly means the answer appears after the prayers have been stored up. And I believe that's what you're touching right now. Not because you're special in a prideful way, but because you have been faithful in a painful way. So stay grounded, anointed one. Don't let fear interpret this moment. Don't let skepticism steal it. You are not being teased by the universe. You are being confirmed by heaven. This is the beginning of movement. This is the start of acceleration. This is the sign that your next chapter is not a theory, it is already unfolding around you. Chosen one. There's something sacred happening beneath the surface that most people will never notice, and that is exactly why you were told to stay. Because the deepest breakthroughs don't always look dramatic at first. Sometimes they look like a small moment of clarity that pierces through months of confusion. Sometimes they look like a quiet shift in your spirit, where you suddenly realize, I'm done living like I'm abandoned. And that internal shift is what heaven uses to open external doors. Let me say it like this, anointed one. The blessing is not only arriving to change your circumstances, it's arriving to change your posture. You have carried yourself for so long like you're bracing for impact, like something bad is always around the corner, like you have to hold everything together or everything will fall apart. But that posture was built in survival. And survival may have protected you, but it also restricted you. Now heaven is calling you out of that, out of the tight chest, the clenched jaw, the constant scanning for danger, and into alignment. Because alignment is a real thing. It's when your spirit stops fighting what God is trying to do. It's when you stop arguing with the answer because it doesn't arrive the way you imagined. It's when you stop needing 10 confirmations before you take one step. Chosen one. This is the season where you learn to recognize provision when it's approaching, not only when it's already in your hands. And I know why that's hard. Some of you have been disappointed so many times that your mind learned to protect you by expecting nothing. You tell yourself you're being realistic, but deep down it's fear wearing a calm mask. It's the pain of hoping and getting let down. It's the exhaustion of praying and feeling like nothing moves. So you built a wall called I'm fine and you learn to live behind it. But I'm speaking to the part of you that is tired of pretending, the part of you that wants to believe again without feeling foolish. Chosen one, that's why the sign came the way it did. The sign wasn't only to get your attention, it was to break the spell of hopelessness. It was to interrupt the loop, to shock you out of numbness and remind you that the unseen realm is not empty, that prayers don't evaporate, that tears don't disappear into the floor. Heaven gathers what you thought was wasted. I've seen this pattern over and over, both in my own life and in the lives of people I've walked with. The breakthrough often arrives right after you whisper, I can't do this anymore, and then you still get up and do it anyway. That's the moment faith becomes real, not the loud faith, not the performing faith, but the quiet faith that keeps moving with shaky hands. And chosen one, heaven responds to that kind of faith because it's pure. It's not trying to impress anyone, it's simply refusing to quit. So listen, what's happening right now is not just comfort, it's correction, it's divine justice balancing what has been imbalanced. There are things you carried that were never supposed to be yours alone. There are loads you lifted because nobody else showed up. There are sacrifices you made that cost you more than people will ever admit. And yet you stayed kind, you stayed honest, you stayed faithful. That is rare. That is why your name is being touched. Now I need to also say this with clarity. Anointed One, do not mistake divine acceleration for chaos. When things begin to move, it can feel like everything is happening at once. You may notice old doors closing quickly. You may notice people reacting strangely. You may notice opportunities appearing faster than your mind can process. That is not confusion, that is repositioning. God will compress time in certain seasons to catch you up, not because you were behind, but because the delay was never about your worth. The delay was about preparation, and that's why your focus matters more than ever. Because the enemy doesn't always fight you with destruction. Sometimes he fights you with distraction. He tries to get you to look away right when the meaning is about to land. He tries to pull you back into old thinking. It won't last. It's too good to be true. Something bad will happen. Chosen One. Those are survival scripts, and survival scripts cannot lead you into promise. So, here is your assignment in this moment. Receive the sign with humility, but do not receive it with fear. Let it point you toward the truth that your life is being supported. Let it remind you that you are not doing this alone. Let it awaken you to the fact that the season is changing. Because if you can shift internally, you will start seeing external evidence everywhere. Not because you're imagining it, but because alignment sharpens your vision. Chosen One. The transfer was not only sent to help you, it was sent to wake you, to call you into a new timeline where you no longer chase what is meant for you, where what is meant for you recognizes you. And as you stay present, as you let these words settle, you are stepping out of a chapter of survival and into a chapter of becoming quietly, powerfully, and with heaven's signature on it. Chosen One, I need you to understand the difference between a blessing and a bait. A blessing brings peace with it. A bait brings panic. And the reason I keep calling you to stillness is because heaven does not need you frantic to receive. If this moment is truly aligned, you will feel a strange steadiness underneath the intensity, like a hand on your back saying, "Stay. Don't run. Don't spiral. Just listen." That's how you know this is not chaos. It's calling. Now let me speak to the part of you that's cautious, because I honor that part. Some of you learned caution the hard way. You trusted people and got burned. You hoped and got disappointed. You celebrated too early and life humbled you. So you built a habit of holding your breath around good news. You brace for loss even when doors open. But chosen one, there comes a time when caution stops being wisdom and starts becoming a cage. And heaven is not unlocking your future just so you can stand at the doorway, doubting whether you deserve to step through. I remember a season in my own life where I couldn't receive help without feeling guilty. Someone would offer support, and my first instinct was to say, "No, I'm okay," even when I wasn't. Not because I was proud, because I was trained to survive without being carried. I was trained to be the strong one, the dependable one, the one who figures it out. And when God started shifting things for me, the hardest part wasn't the change outside of me, it was letting the change happen inside of me, letting myself believe that provision could come without pain attached. Chosen one, that's what this moment is working on. It's not just pointing at money, it's pointing at the mindset that has kept you tense, the constant calculating, the quiet fear that says, if I relax, everything will fall apart. But the truth is, you've been holding your life with white knuckles for too long, and heaven is saying, release, surrender. Let me carry what you were never meant to carry alone. Because when divine transfer comes, it's rarely only finances. It's also relief. It's also restoration. It's also dignity returning to your decisions. It's waking up and not feeling like you're already behind. It's being able to say no to what drains you because you're no longer afraid of lack. It's peace entering the rooms of your mind that have been noisy for years. This is how God funds your life sometimes, not by giving you one huge thing, but by shifting the entire flow around you until what used to be hard becomes supported. And here's the prophetic truth, anointed one. There are seasons when God will use a single sign to break a generational pattern, a pattern of almost. Almost enough, almost stable, almost free, almost seen, but never fully. That pattern ends when you finally agree with what heaven has been saying about you, not with arrogance, just agreement. Yes, Lord, I am called. Yes, I receive. Yes, I will not shrink. Because the enemy has benefited from your shrinking. People have benefited from your shrinking. But your destiny cannot be funded by your fear. Chosen one. Some of you are about to notice that your appetite is changing. What used to satisfy you won't satisfy you. What used to distract you won't distract you. You're going to feel a holy intolerance for cycles, same pain, same people, same delays, same excuses. And that's not you becoming harsh. That's you becoming awake. That's you finally realizing, if I'm truly anointed, I can't keep living like I'm powerless. So I'm going to say this in a way that lands. The window isn't there to rush you. It's there to reveal you. It exposes how you respond when opportunity appears. Do you freeze? Do you self-sabotage? Do you overthink until the moment passes? Or do you stay present, stay grounded, and let wisdom lead you? Because God's provision doesn't just bless your hands, it trains your discernment. It teaches you how to steward the new season without losing yourself in it. And I need to protect you with truth. Chosen ones, stay spiritual, but stay wise. Heaven doesn't require naivety. Divine alignment doesn't mean you abandon discernment. If something is truly from God, it will not demand secrecy, shame, or reckless moves. It will produce clarity. It will lead you into peace. It will strengthen your dignity, not strip it. The enemy imitates signs, but he can't imitate peace. So measure everything by the fruit it produces in your spirit. Now listen to me closely, anointed one. This is a moment where your faith becomes practical, not loud. Practical. It looks like you taking your next step without fear. It looks like you saying, I will not panic my way through a blessing. It looks like you refusing to talk yourself out of what God is building. It looks like you releasing the need to understand every detail before you obey the nudge. Because what's coming on your life isn't fragile. It doesn't depend on one person. It doesn't depend on one moment. It's bigger than that. It's a shift in your timeline. It's acceleration in your path. It's favor on your work. It's restoration in your confidence. And chosen one, I declare this with authority. You are not entering a season where you beg for doors to open. You are entering a season where doors recognize who you are and open because heaven has assigned them to. Chosen one. This is where I need you to get very honest with yourself, because sometimes the greatest resistance isn't outside of you, it's inside of you. It's the part of you that says, "What if it doesn't work?" The part of you that whispers, "Don't get your hopes up." The part of you that has been trained by disappointment to expect the floor to fall out the moment you start believing again. But anointed one, that voice is not wisdom. That voice is old pain trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. There's a sacred moment that happens right before a breakthrough. You are given a choice. Not always a big dramatic choice, but a quiet one. A choice to stay present instead of escaping. A choice to receive instead of rejecting. A choice to let your heart open even if it trembles. And that's what this is. This is not just about a transfer. This is about whether you will allow your spirit to cross over into a new way of living. Because when God starts moving, the first thing he often restores is your expectation. He teaches you to look up again. He teaches you to pray without feeling stupid. He teaches you to dream without apologizing for it. And you may not realize it, but that's been your struggle. Your dream life has been under attack. Not because you're lazy, but because you've been tired. Tired from carrying too much. Tired from being the strong one, tired from having to act like everything is fine when inside you're asking, when do I get to breathe? Chosen one, your ability to breathe is being returned to you. Peace is being restored. Clarity is being released. And I want you to understand, what's coming is not only provision, it's alignment. It's the right connections finding you. It's ideas landing in your mind at the right time. It's opportunities that match who you really are, not who your trauma forced you to become. It's the kind of blessing that doesn't just pay something off, it lifts a weight. And here's the personal truth I've learned. When God begins to answer, the enemy tries to rush you. He tries to make you panic. He tries to make you move without discernment. But the Holy Spirit doesn't push you into frenzy. He leads you into peace. So if you feel hurried, breathe. If you feel pressured, pause. Because your blessing is not fragile. Your destiny is not hanging by a thread. What's meant for you will not require you to lose your mind to receive it. So in this moment, chosen one, I'm calling you to a sacred posture. Surrender without fear. Receive without suspicion. Stay awake without anxiety. Let your spirit agree with what heaven is already doing, because your old chapter is closing and your new chapter is opening with evidence, not just words. And I need you to remember this. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. And now the preparation is turning into promotion. Chosen one. Let this settle. What is happening around you is not random, and it is not merely emotional. It is spiritual alignment becoming visible. When heaven begins to move, it often starts by calling your attention back to you, back to your value, your voice, your gift, your future. Because the enemy's strategy has never been only to block your money. It has been to break your confidence, to drain your expectancy, to keep you believing that you were born to struggle. Anointed one, I am speaking to the version of you that kept showing up while nobody noticed. The version that held faith in one hand and responsibility in the other. The version that prayed quietly, then wiped your face and went back into the world like nothing was wrong. Heaven saw that, and that is why this sign has weight. It's not shouting, "Look at the amount." It's whispering, "Look at the pattern that is ending. Here is the pattern: you giving more than you receive, you carrying more than you share, you overthinking because you've been hurt. You delaying your own steps because you're waiting for perfect conditions. Chosen one, perfect conditions are not coming, but divine timing is. And divine timing has already arrived. That's why you feel that pressure in the air, not pressure to panic, but pressure to rise. So do this right now. Release the old agreement. Release the agreement that says, I'm always on my own. Release the agreement that says, nothing ever works out for me. Release the agreement that says, I have to chase and beg and prove. Those are survival vows, and survival vows cannot follow you into a season of provision. I want you to picture your life like a hallway with doors. For a long time, you walked past doors that stayed shut. Not because you were rejected, but because it wasn't time. Now one door is opening, and it's opening with confirmation. This is where you stop shrinking. This is where you stop apologizing for wanting more peace, more stability, more joy. God is not offended by your needs. He is the one who placed them in you. Chosen one. If you've been feeling the nudge to reconnect with your spirit, do it. Pray in your own words. Sit in silence for a few minutes. Write down what you keep sensing. Pay attention to repeated signs, repeated ideas, repeated invitations. Wisdom is being poured on you with the provision, and as you honor that, your steps will become clearer. This is the moment you decide, I will not scroll past my destiny. I will not numb myself. I will not doubt what God is confirming. I will stay awake, stay grounded, and walk forward with courage. Because what is being released is not only a transfer, it is a turning point, and you were chosen to recognize it. And when the door opens fully, you'll look back and realize heaven wasn't late, it was precise, and so are you. Chosen one, take a slow breath and let this word settle where fear used to live. What found you today was not random, and it was not late. It was heaven's precision, your kairos moment arriving right when your spirit needed proof that you are seen, remembered, and still under divine favor. Anointed one. The transfer is not just financial. It is spiritual confirmation. It is divine justice shifting what was imbalanced. It is God reminding you that your endurance has not been ignored, your silent prayers have not been wasted, and your tears have not fallen without purpose. What is meant for you is already in motion, and you will not have to chase it. It will recognize you. It will locate you. It will arrive with clarity, with peace, and with doors opening at the exact time they were appointed. So I speak this over you. Now may every delayed harvest accelerate, may every closed path realign, and may every heavy burden lift as favor returns to your life. May wisdom guard your steps, may courage fill your voice, and may your heart stay soft enough to receive what God is releasing. If this word is yours, type, I am in perfect alignment in the comments as your agreement. Stay subscribed so you never miss the next confirmation, and share this with one chosen soul who needs a sign. Stay awake, stay grateful, stay aligned, because your next chapter has begun.